The next piece is called Find a Friend. And talk to me about why innovators need to find somebody in the organization who is going to friend that idea.
This is one of my favorite principles, and mostly because we have been conditioned to think, I've got a great idea, I need to go find a leader that's going to endorse it. Frankly, that may be the worst thing you could do. Leaders are presented with new ideas every single day, and by their very definition of a leader, they're optimizing resources, so your idea is a burden to them. It's at least noise, and it's easy for them to dismiss it. Even if they accept it, as soon as times get tough, they could easily turn tables and go pick the next best idea. A far better strategy is to go find a friend. And I don't know about you, Tara, but I have 10 new ideas a day. And at the end of the day, one of them might be good even to me. So if I go find a friend and I socialize that idea with them, it does a couple things. It gives me an initial gut check on, is this idea really good? And then secondly, if it is in fact good, it builds confidence, and that friend helps to embolden me. And there's lots of social research to illustrate this. Solomon Asch, way back in the 1950s, said you need to go find one single ally, and it will embolden you to actually step into the conflict and ongoing sort of disruption that you're about ready to create. And that all starts with go find a friend. And once you find one friend and you've tested that idea with them, go find a couple more. And it's much more of a groundswell approach to creating a bold new idea than the more traditional approach of I'm going to go take my idea and I'm going to go share it with a leader.
In the book, you talked about Slack, I think, and Facebook, and how they really worked on that idea of going to find a friend and going and it became almost a movement.
So Slack is a perfect illustration of this, right? Slack, sort of came out of nowhere, and they really enacted a few of these principles. First thing they did was, they found the white space. They went to the edge. They found the white space, an opportunity. They sold it then at the individual level as opposed to at the corporate level. They sold their initial solution at the individual level, and they basically were seeding their network by getting people, friends, buzzed up about it and creating sort of this grassroots movement around the product that ultimately, energized, and diffused across the broader organization to where corporations are now adopting it as their corporate solution for collaboration inside of large, complex organizations.
And with no marketing, all the buzz was created by the users.
Yeah, completely. And if you can seed your network first with a handful of friends, and you can get them to talk about your idea, and more importantly, it becomes partly their idea as well, what ends up happening is you drive radical diffusion both inside and outside of an organization. And again, I think Slack did that. There are a multitude of other companies that really tap into this whole concept of energy.